Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's me. And yeah, so, man, still working on a video, and it's taking way more time than I thought it was gonna take. So I thought, hey, to keep myself relevant and to keep my fans well fed, we're doing a movie review. So yeah, I watched Dogman. Now, this could have been a Captain America Brave New World review, but I want to be different, so Dogman review. So the same person that made the Captain Underpants books made the Dogman books too. Now, I haven't watched or read any of them, so I didn't really expect much from this movie. I thought, oh, it's gonna be a funny movie to watch, and also, the visuals look pretty good. I was not expecting this movie to be the most down-to-earth and empathetic movie. And another thing that I didn't expect, but I kinda predicted it in a joking way, you know, Dogman is a cop. Oh man, is this gonna be a movie where it's propaganda, or is it actually gonna criticize the justice system? Nah, what the f- For a kid's film, it does a pretty good job, because in the first 20 minutes of the movie, you know, we get, you know, the quote-unquote villain of the movie, Pete, getting arrested multiple times. And it's a montage of, you know, oh, he does his evil scheme, gets arrested by Dogman, sent to jail, and then escapes the jail, and does another evil scheme. And the visuals does a pretty good job showing this cycle and showing how repetitive and maybe meaningless this is. And Pete is not getting better. Like, he's not getting reformed there. The more he gets arrested, the more he wants to do more of this shit. Like, as soon as he goes to jail, he's thinking about the next scheme he's gonna do, or how he's gonna escape. Not, oh, I gotta reflect myself, man, I've been fucking up. No, none of that. So yeah, in the beginning, you know, Pete is a bad guy, he's a villain, you know, he builds stuffs to take over the city and to defeat Dogman. So yeah, typical villain stuffs, you know? Oh yeah, and also, Pete is a very cynical man, and he's also views the world very negatively. So like, you know, they made sure he looked like a villain. And then, the later half of the movie, we get the clone Pete. And that's when the movie turns into the Pete movie. A character study on how people become evil. It shows that people aren't born evil. It's the circumstances or the things they go through that turns them. Now, usually in a kid's film, Disney, whenever they want a kid to have a single parent, they either kill them off or other wild scenarios like, oh, your father was stolen by a wizard or some shit, I don't know. But in this movie, it's like, oh, Pete's dad abandoned him because he got bored with him. Yeah, this guy's a piece of shit. Now, when little Pete gets introduced, now at first, when he started crying, I thought, oh, this is gonna be the annoying, the stupid, but hey, he's cute, and he gets away with it, baby. Now, he is all of that, but not in the way what I expected it, alright? Like, he's not dumb or annoying because the writers purposely made him that, but because he's just a kid asking questions. He's just a kid, you know, being playful. I actually like this part of the movie where Pete almost becomes his dad. He continues the cycle. Like, the reason why Pete is so cynical and views the world in the bad way is because his father abandoned him. And you see that almost happen to little Pete, and Pete saw that and thought, wow, this is how it happened. So yeah, I really love this part of the movie because, listen, man, Dogman, he's just like Goku, where it's like, there's not really much about him. You know, he's already a developed character. He's a cop fused into a dog and fights crime. And that's about it. Like, we don't learn anything new after the first 20 minutes. So throughout the movie, he's more like a supporting character, or he helps characters develop throughout the movie, like Pete and Little Pete. Now, because he's a simple character, he's not a boring character, you know? He's still an entertaining and funny character to watch. So yeah, that's all my thoughts about the characters. Listen, every other character, they're all funny. They all have their quirks. So, you know, they all did great. But, you know, my favorite ones, and the main ones, were Little Pete, and Dogman. But yeah, you know, it's kind of hard, you know, switching to talk about the deeper meaning of this story, and then just being like, let's talk about the art style. But yeah, the art style looks pretty good. There's really not much to say. You know, it looks really good. I liked how it looks. Yeah. Also, the comedy is really good. You know, if like that was the main thing why I wanted to watch this movie. I've heard of many reviews saying that this movie is Gen Z ADHD type of jokes, and that's what it was. And I loved it. It was really funny. It was like every second they were just spitting out jokes, or, you know, there's like something happened in the background. And, a person like me that has heard of raunchy or dark comedy, and, it's just like a breath of fresh air whenever I hear something funny that is either silly or dumb. That scene where they decide to fuse the dog and the man, it's like, wait a minute, so what happened to the guy? What happened to the cop? Like, obviously, he could talk, because when they told him the news, like, oh, your head doesn't work, Mr. Man, it's like, oh, bummer, and like, wait, what? And when they said, oh, what if we just fuse the dog's head and the man's body? He gave a thumbs up, like, what? What? Like, I thought the scene was funny. Like, in books, I can imagine people are like, oh, they didn't really think deep into it. But in movie format, it's like, wait, but what about the guy? It's like, the dog is fine because he has his brain, but what about the guy? Like, what, you just threw his head into the trash or something? So yeah, let's talk about the negatives in this movie. Overall, I thought the movie was great, but this could have easily have been a TV show. And it's kind of like formatted as a TV show. It felt like they try to squeeze in 9 episodes in, how long is this movie? Oh, man. See, the runtime is an hour and 30 minutes. That's 90 minutes. Like, even in the movie, you could tell, like, all right, bam, first episode could have been the intro and then Dogman putting Pete in jail. Second episode is Pete buying the clone machine. Third episode could have been Pete, trying to get this fish that has powers or something. I don't remember. Fourth episode is little Pete getting abandoned. It's like you could tell each chapter could have been an episode. And I think it would have been better if it was TV formatted, like if it was 30 minutes an episode, Now, I don't know if most of the writing is from the books or the writers of this movie fleshed out even more from the books, So yeah, overall, great movie. It was funny and surprisingly deep. I think this does a great job for a kid's film that explains how people aren't born evil, and in some circumstances, people will turn evil. And also it shows, no matter how many times you put a man in jail, some of them won't be rehabilitated, and so we have to find other answers that would fix them. And, it's like, I'm just glad that kids potentially watch this and be like, oh wow, nuance. But yeah, that's enough glazing for this movie. So, yeah, movie's great. 7 out of 10. Would have been better if it was a TV show, but hey, what do I know? So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you like, come on, blah, 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 blah.